watching News at Prime. All right, let's take you now to this conversation. The former South Africa's ambassador to France, his wife, has told Newzroom Afrika that the family will receive their husband's death certificate today. Mthethwa's remains will be repatriated as soon as the post-mortem results are concluded. He died on Monday after allegedly jumping from the 22nd floor of a Paris hotel. Family spokesperson Dr Sifiso Buthelezi is live for us in the French capital tonight in Paris. Dr. Buthelezi, good evening to you. Thank you very much for making time for us. We are terribly sorry for your loss. It has to be a very difficult time for you and the entire family, particularly Philisiwe Buthelezi. How is she holding up tonight?
Yeah, good evening to you, Xoli. Good evening to the viewers in South Africa and everywhere else. It is a difficult time for all of us. The news is devastating. We are heartbroken. Our hearts are bleeding. But it's the reality that we are facing. So just to say thank you to all of you, to the media houses, to the South Africans who have been showering us with messages of condolences. Yeah. And to thank the President, His Excellency, President Ramaphosa, the Minister of International Relations, Minister Lamula. All they've just come to comfort us and just to say we're all in this together. So we definitely would like to thank all of you in South Africa.
Yes. Are you able to confirm, Dr. Buthelezi, whether the French authorities have now released the death certificate? And in so doing, are you able to give us any update in regard to the repatriation process of the body?
Let's talk perhaps rather about where we are, what has happened, yes. And I think we are more or less at the tail end of what's happening and what's going to happen, if you would allow that.
Indeed.
I arrived here yesterday, and as you know, that the news was broken to all of us on Tuesday around midday. So from that time, things started to happen. But I think it's important that we should tell your viewers that from the time that this tragedy happened and until Tuesday around midday, when ambassador's body was found, the police in France have been working with the family. But before I came, obviously they've been with a Phili, which was quite a difficult time, but they've been quite empathetic and dealt with Phili and the investigation quite sensitively. So that's one part. Then I arrived yesterday, and around 1300 hours, then the police came to the residence just to update us as to where they were with investigation and what they found, and also to give a Phili the belongings of the ambassador, which was a coat, a cap, and the remote, if my memory serves me well. Yes, that's what it was, right? And then one major thing that they told us, one, let me stress that the investigations are continuing. They haven't completed the investigations, but obviously to try and keep us abreast about the developments. They said, look, one of the things that they needed to do is to go to the hotel and look at the cameras and see exactly what transpired. What they were interested in at that time was to see whether there was anyone who got into the ambassador's room before he came, and perhaps is there anyone who followed him, right? So they had to look at that, and they looked at the cameras, and they say they didn't find anyone. There was no one as far as the cameras were concerned. And I think that's one of the things which they told us, is that the ambassador had booked in the hotel on the 15th of September for the 27th and the 28th to be in that hotel. Yes. But he didn't come. He ended up postponing it to the 29th. To the 29th. That's the day on which it disappeared. And on the 29th, indeed, he came. He checked in. That's why they were checking the cameras. So that's the information that they gave us yesterday. So that's what they are having.
All right.
So perhaps let me leave it that as far as this incident is concerned, not unless there's something that you want to ask.
Indeed.
But having said that, then they said, okay, we'll have to go to the mayor's office to get the death certificate, and again informed us that they were still busy with the autopsy. So the body of the ambassador is in the government mortuary. So that's where the body is. So you wanted to know, do we have the death certificate? No, we don't have the death certificate yet. We hoped to get it today. We're not able to get the certificate. It's more of administrative things and so on that we must still deal with. We also needed to go to the mortuary. The embassy needed to do certain things at the mortuary, and then that would have given us an opportunity to also view the body.
Yes.
And that's why I'm a little bit late to assure. That's where we're held up again. The embassy is the first time they deal with such a thing, so it's overwhelming to them.
Yes.
So there are things that the morgue wanted to be done before they could allow us to do, even to come, even to see the body.
All right.
So that's where I'm coming from now, but we couldn't go in because of these technicalities.
All right.
Yeah.
Dr. Buthelezi, I apologize if I come across as rushing you. Do we know, and it might come across as an invasive question, is there clarity as to whether or not the ambassador dealt with or battled depression at any stage?
Not really. The matters of psychological health and so on are very difficult to recognize. But I know, and you know how Ambassador Nathi is a very reserved person. You may not be able to see if he's got something, but as a matter of fact, you remember on Saturday, the ambassador and the embassy, they were at the commemoration of the soldiers, South Africans who fell during the World War I. Yes. So he was there. And then there's a video which he sent to us as a family where he was busy doing Indlamu big time, which he hardly did. But he came there, and he was in a very, very jolly mood, sent that video to us at home, but I understand that he sent it to other people where he was doing the Indlamu. That's the Zulu dance for those who don't know what Indlamu is. And one would have concluded that he's quite in a good mood.
Yes. The reason I'm asking you this question...
Complicated thing.
The reason I ask this question is that the investigations by the French authorities appear to be at their final stages. And for them, it is clear that the ambassador ended his own life. Is that something that the family is willing to accept? I know it's a very sensitive time, but are you willing to accept that Ambassador Mthethwa took his own life?
Yeah. I think it's still too early for us to accept that, right? Specifically for the reasons that we have said, that we didn't know that he had any problems. You understand? I used that as an example that what was happening on that Saturday. So it will be very difficult for us to accept it. You know, to accept death is difficult on its own, but to accept the death which occurred this way is even more difficult, right? But we'll wait. Let's allow that process to unfold, and we are still emotional trying just to deal with his death as to what caused it and so on. I think for now, Claude, I'm sure you'll understand that it's very difficult for us to say we'll accept or that and so on. It will depend what comes out, but it's more of an emotional a situation more than being a scientific, I think, as far as we are concerned. But let's allow this process to unfold.
Dr. Buthelezi, I want to leave the conversation there.
So
because
perhaps, yes.
Yes, please continue, because I was about to end the conversation. Are there any other, perhaps, additions you might want to add before we conclude the conversation?
No, yeah. Just to say to you and my fellow countrymen and women, to say what then we have been told is that the earliest that they think they will be able to release the body to the family will be, I mean, the latest will be Monday or Tuesday, right? And then obviously once that is done, it's released to the family. We'll have to take it to the morgue that the family would have chosen. So so I just thought, let me give you that information.
Dr. Buthelezi, thank you very much for making time for us tonight, and I really wish you and the entire family strength at this difficult time. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
All right, that's Dr. Sifiso Buthelezi there.